Welcome students. So in this episode, let us look at the usage of countable and uncountable nouns. As you know, countable nouns are the things which can be counted. Uncountable nouns means which cannot be counted. So before uncountable nouns, we use few, a few, the few to describe the number. Now, they are always used to denote a countable noun and mean a small number of quantity. The difference between this is that few is used to express negative message. When you use few means very less. Very few students are attending Zoom classes. Few here refers to nil, very one or two, very less, which is equal to none, which is equal to nil, almost no. Out of 40 students, if 1 or 2 students are attending classes, online classes, we say few students are attending. That means only 1 or 2, which is negligible, which is equal to no. A few is used to express a small quantity. A few to express a small quantity. A few of the students are attending online classes. A few means a group, 10 to 15 students. Out of a big group, a few, that means a small group of students, 10 students are attending online classes. But when we use the few, it is used to express small but certain quantity. The few children who appeared for the examination passed with good grades or high ranks. We are talking about that specific group of students. So let us look at the examples, how to use countable and uncountable nouns. For example, I have few friends here. In this sentence, few refers to very less, negligible. In this place or in this class, I have few friends. That means 1 or 2 friends, which is equal to no, almost no, only 1 friend I have or 2. If I say I have a few friends, a few is used here. Before friends, we are using a few. This means a small number, 5-6 students who are there in this place, in this class. I have a few friends here. I have a few friends at Hyderabad. I have a few friends at Warangal. So when you are talking about a small group, a small number, you use a few. When you say less than any number, 4 or 5, very less, 1 or 2, you use only few. So along with little, a little, the little, always you have to denote an uncountable noun and mean a small amount. Whenever an uncountable noun is used, just use little, a little, the little before that to specify the amount or number or group, how much it is, few, a few, or the few. Little, a little, the little. I have little milk, I have a little milk, I have the little milk. Okay. Now let us look at these examples. How much horses were running in the last race? Now this is a question. In this we are talking about horses. Here in the sentence the noun is horses. Now what kind of a noun it is? Is it countable or uncountable? It is a countable noun. We can count horses, 1, 2, 10, 20, 30, 100, etc. So always along with the countable noun, you should use many. How many horses were running in the last race, not much. Much is used to refer quantity. How much sugar you want? How much milk do you drink? How much water can be added in this bottle? So always much is used to refer quantity. When you talk about quantity, use much before before uncountable noun. Whenever you use a countable noun, you should use many. Much is used to be measured things, for some quantity, measured things. Many is used for countable things. We can count pens, books, horses, girls, people, bottles, rooms. So all these are countable things. We should say how many rooms are there in this building, how many flats are there in this apartment, how many flats are there in this building. Now let us look at the example. When two subjects are joined by connectors like as well as, along with, together with and not, in addition to, but, besides, except, rather than, like, unlike, no less than, or nothing but, we should use always helping verb and not the possessive pronouns. The helping verb and the possessive pronoun is always written according to the first subject. When two subjects are joined by connectors, connectors are joining words, linking words like as well as. So always it should be written with the first subject. It should have the helping verb and the possessive pronouns is always written in the first subject. He, along with his friends, was working hard to complete his project in time. Now if you look in this sentence, he along with his friends. Here he is the subject, along with his friends there is another subject, two subjects. To join two subjects we are using the connector along. Along is the connector. Now in this sentence what should be, which verb should be used? Either you should look at first subject or this subject. One is a singular subject, the other one is plural subject. You can see friends, S, it's plural. So whenever such kind of sentences are there, you should talk about only the first subject. He along with his friends was. The verb, helping verb should be was, working hard to complete his project. Again we are talking about one person, so he should talk about the pronoun his. You should use the pronoun his project in time. He along with his friends was working hard to complete his project in time. So you are referring to one subject, one person, one singular helping verb, and here also the pronoun should be singular. All three should be in coordination with along with the connectors. He is singular, was is singular verb, and pronoun used in this sentence also should be singular. Another example. They together with their class teacher were interested in knowing their results. Now they is one subject, together is the connector in this example, with their class teacher, this is another second subject. Now how many subjects are there? Plural subject, many. They refers to many. Here teacher also is there, so including many students, teacher, class teacher also. So it's a plural subject. Along with plural subject, the verb also should be plural, were. They were interested, they along with they together with their class teacher were interested in knowing their result. Again the pronoun used here is their. We are talking about group of people, group of students. Now let us see what kind of sample questions can come in your exam and how can you correct the sentences. If you get sentence correction questions from this area, how will you try to correct the sentences? In MCQ type there will be 4 options and there will be chances of getting confused. So whatever we have revised in the previous episode, let us follow those rules and do this corrections or let us solve these answers. Let us look at some sample questions. You may get 2-3 questions from this area, sentence correction. and it will be very difficult or confusing for you to select a best option from out of 4. With this kind of sample questions, I hope you can understand better. Following the rules what we have learned in the previous episode, let us try to solve this. The small child does whatever his father was done. Now, here was done is given as object, and this should be corrected. There are 4 options. Option A, has done. Option B, did. Option C, does. Option D, has done. Option E, no correction. Now, if you see, all present, past, past perfect form of do form of verbs are used here. Now, how to find the correct answer? A small child does whatever his father dash. In this sentence, the small child is a subject. Does, singular verb. This is the helping verb in singular form. So, with singular subject, singular verb. Next, whatever, this is connecting his father dash. Now, the father is singular. So, what should come here? The sentence is in which tense? It is in simple present tense. So, the other part also should be in simple present. It should not be was done. Here was done, past participle is given. This is a wrong. You should, if the sentence is in simple present, the next object also, next verb also will be in simple present tense. So, here the correct option is option C, does. The small child does whatever his father does. So, there may be words which are confusing, but always remember the grammar rule. See the tense. If the tense is in simple present, then here also see the subject and write the verb, appropriate verb. Let us look at the second example. You need not come unless you want to. In this sentence, first understand, you need not come unless you want to. Now, you have to, out of 4-5 options, you have to select an appropriate sentence which means the same as the sentence. What is given in the sentence, it should mean exactly. You don't need to come unless you want to. Option B, you come only when you want to. C, you come unless you don't want to. D, you don't come until you don't want to. E, no correction required. Now, what is the sentence? You need not come unless you want to. That means, if there is no work, there is no need of coming. So, which sentence tells us that? The first sentence, you don't need to come unless you want to. If you want to come, if there is a need, you can come. But if there is no need not come. So, that is the meaning. Option A is correct. You need not come until you don't want to, you come unless you don't want to, you come only when you want to. These are all wrong options. So, try to start eliminating. Read all the sentences and check out which is the appropriate one. A is the most suitable one. So, the option will be A here. The population of Tokyo is greater than that of any other town in the world. The population of Tokyo is greater than that of any other town in the world. Now, greater than is given here, that of any other town. What are the options? Let us see. A, greatest among any other. B, greater than all other. C, greater than those of any other. D, greater than any other. Or E, no correction required. Now, if we see in adjectives, comparative degrees, degrees of comparison, you have positive degree, you have comparative degree, you have superlative degree. In comparative degree, always the adjective is followed by than. greater than, smaller than, shorter than, longer than, taller than, higher than. So, in this the population of Tokyo is greater than that of any other town. So, you are comparing Tokyo with another town. There is no mistake here. The sentence is perfectly correct, grammatically correct. So, here option correct is greater than those of the population of Tokyo is greater than that of any other town in the world. So, if you see the options, option C, in option C greater than those of any other, you cannot say that of any other. The population of Tokyo is greater than those of other town in the world. You cannot say that. That is wrong here. You are comparing with many towns, other towns. So, here you should use those, not that. Moving on to next. The performance of our players was rather worse than I had expected. Again, this sentence is based on degrees of comparison. The performance of our players was rather worse than I had expected. In this sentence, here the highlighted one is given. There is some mistake here. The performance of our players was rather worse than. Just now I have explained you, whenever than is there, than is used in comparative degree. Okay, after greater than, shorter than, longer than, after the adjective you use than to say some comparison, to show comparison. Here worst, worst is the superlative degree. Bad, positive degree, worse, comparative degree, worst, superlative degree. So, this both superlative degree and than cannot go together. There is a mistake here. So, what should come? What can be the appropriate answers? Bad as I had expected. B, worse than I had expected. C, worse than expectation. D, worse than was expected. E, no correction required. So, if you see the correct options, you cannot, because than is there, you cannot use bad. Bad is positive degree. So, eliminate this. This option is wrong. There is a mistake here. We have identified the mistake. So, option E is eliminated. Now, if you look at D, worst is used. Already worst is wrong here. We cannot use worst. Worst is used in superlative degree. So, option D is again wrong here. Now, we are left with two options, B and C. You have to select which is correct. The performance of our players was rather, we have come to a conclusion that instead of worst, what should be used here? Worse should be used, comparative degree. Now, let us see we use this degree of comparison, worse. In both the sentences, worse is there. Comparative degree is always followed by than is there. Now, which is to be selected? Option B or option C? Worse than expectation or worse than I had expected. So, the performance of our players was rather worse than I had expected, not worse than expectation. It should be worse than I had expected. I had expected them to do better or win some match, but they have performed very bad or worst or worse. So, because than is there, they have performed worse here. So, the correct option is option B. The performance of our players was rather worse than I had expected. Now, let us look at other example. Why did you not throw the bag away? Remember, in the previous episode, I have explained you about subject-verb agreement. Whenever subject is singular, verb also should be singular. Whenever subject is plural, the verb also should be plural and tense also should be same. When you use past tense, Here also, the other side also, you should use past tense. If it is in present tense, it should be used in present tense. Now in this sentence, why did you not throw the bag away? There is a mistake here in this highlighted words. Did you not threw? Now what are the options given to you? Did you not throw? Had you not threw? Did you not thrown? You did not thrown. E, no correction required. Now if you see, there is a mistake. Why did you not threw? To past tense cannot be used. If the helping verb is in past tense, here did already is in past. You cannot use one more main verb in past participle form. So this is wrong. Wherever threw is there, thrown is there, it is wrong. This eliminate this option. There is a mistake. So option E, option D, option B are eliminated. Why did you not thrown? Here thrown also is in past participle form. So this option also is eliminated. Now what is left? Only A is left. Why did you not throw the bag away? Along with D, did, helping verb which is in past, you should use throw. The main verb should be in present tense. So it is very easy. There is no need of getting confused. If you follow the rules, apply the rules, you can solve very easily such questions. Why should the candidates be afraid of English language is not clear. Why should the candidates be afraid of English language is not clear. Now in this sentence you can see the highlighted word, should the candidates be afraid of. There is a mistake here. Now 4 options are given. The candidate should be, do the candidates be, should be the candidates, are the candidates, or no correction is required. Now always remember a simple rule, the modal verbs are used after the nouns. So there is a mistake here. Option E, no correction required, is eliminated. Now here there is a mistake use of placement of modal verbs. Here helping verb is used in this option D, are the candidates. So this is wrong, you can eliminate this. Now if you look at B option, do the candidates be, again do form of verb is used, you can eliminate this. Now you are left with A and C. There are 2 options left. How can you choose between that? Now should be the candidates or should the candidates be? Should be the candidates also is wrong. Why the candidate should be afraid of English language is not clear. This is the correct sentence, grammatically correct sentence. Why the candidate should be, the rule. Why, question word, WH word, should not be used in the beginning, it should be used after the subject. Why the candidate should be afraid of English language is not clear. This is the correct answer. So option A is the correct one. Let's move to the next. He never has and never will take such wrong measures. Now again there is a mistake in this highlighted words, has and never will take. Now let us look what is the mistake here. First let us read the options. Had taken, nor will ever take, had taken and will ever take, has and never will take, had and ever will take. Option E, no correction required. Now how to identify the mistake? He never, never is used. So never means something in the past. You cannot use has. When you are talking about past, you cannot use this helping verb has, have form of verb. You should use past tense. So one thing will get past form of have form of past tense is had. So we can eliminate this one, and option C, as has is used, this is wrong, and no correction required is wrong. 2 options are eliminated. Now we are left with had. Had should be used. When we are talking about past, we should use past tense, had. Now had, what should come? Had and never will take. Whenever never is there, never means you are not going to do anything again that. So along with that we will use nor. He never had, we got the option had. Now next, what part should come? Always with past tense, or when we are talking about never, if we see in the sentence never, that means he had not taken anything wrong, he had not done anything wrong, nor will ever take such wrong measures. He will never do such in the coming future. So he has never, he had taken and will ever take. This is a wrong one because and is given. We cannot use and conjunction here. So you can eliminate this. Again here also in this option you can see and conjunction is used. You should use coordinating conjunction nor. He has never, because here never is there, you should use nor. He has never, he never had taken, nor he will ever take such strong decision. He had never taken, nor he will take such strong measures. Because never is there, it should be nor. So in this way, if you go on eliminating the options, you will get the correct answer. For many centuries in India history, there was no city so famous like Ujjain. Now, in this sentence, think, read carefully. For many centuries in Indian history, there was no city so famous like Ujjain. There is a word highlighted in the sentence like. Now, like is wrong. You have to replace like with other options. What are the other options? Option A is as, option B is such as, option C is likewise, option D so like, option E no correction required. Now, we have earlier in the earlier episode I have explained you we use as, like, so, etc. to compare. So again here in this sentence there is a comparison. For many centuries in Indian history there was no city so famous. We use like to compare two things. Here we are not comparing. Here they were saying that was no city so famous. We cannot compare any city with Ujjain. So there is no we cannot compare that city with any other city. So we should use as. There is a mistake. Option E is wrong. There was no city as famous so like Ujjain. Read, this option is wrong. You cannot use so like. There was no city so famous likewise. This is also not suitable answer. There was no city such as, so famous such as Ujjain. This is also wrong. So what is left? Option A is left. That is the correct answer. Simple. You will get the answer. Now, he has received no other message than an urgent telegram asking him to rush his village immediately. In this sentence, the highlighted word phrase is there is a mistake in this phrase, asking him to rush. Understand the question. He has received no other message than an urgent telegram asking him to rush. Asking him to rush is wrong. Now let us see the options. What are the options given? A, asked him to rush his village, asked him to have rush his village, asking him to rush to his village. D, asking him rushing at his village. No correction required. Now, if you see here the tense received and asking him to rush. He has received a message through telegram. What was he supposed to do in the telegram? What was the message? There was a message asking him to do something. Okay. Now what? What is the correct one? Asked him to rush his village. It's wrong. Asking him to have rushed to his village, that is also not grammatically correct. So this also option is gone. There is a mistake, no correction required. This option also is wrong. Asking him rushing at his village, this is completely out of the box, which is completely wrong. So we are left with one option, that is asking him to rush to his village. Here to rush to, preposition to should be used after rush. To is missing in this sentence. You must write asking him to rush to his village. Because, let us look at the next example. Because of his ill health, the doctor has advised him not to refrain from smoking. Now read the question properly. Understand. Because of his ill health, the doctor has advised him not to refrain from smoking. Now if you see the highlighted words here, not to refrain. If you look at this word, if you know the meaning of refrain, refrain means to stop doing something. A doctor has advised him to stop smoking. Refrain meaning is stop. Here not to is used. Doctors will not say you to smoke. They will tell you to stop smoking, not to smoke. So refrain itself is saying not to. So there is no need of double words. That is a mistake here. Now look at the options. No correction required. No, because there is a mistake here. So eliminate this. To be refrained from, to be form, it's wrong. To not refrain, just now we have discussed. When refrain word is there, not should not come. So this is wrong. To resort to, no need of using another verb. If you see in all the options, refrain is given. Here resort is given. So this is eliminated beforehand only. Now we are left with only one option, to refrain from. Not is the extra word. This negative should not be used in this sentence. To refrain from smoking. The doctor has advised him to refrain from smoking. So correct option is C. They have a scheme of rewarding the best of the performers every year. In this example, the highlighted words, the best of the performers, there is a mistake in this highlighted word. They have a scheme of rewarding the best of the performers every year. Now let us look at the options. A best performer, B, the best among the performer, C, a best among performer, the best of the performer, E, no correction required. If you see the subject, they have a scheme of rewarding the best of the performers. Now the is superlative degree, best is adjective, good, better, best. So these two are correct. Along with superlative degree, we are using the best. This phrase is correct. The best of the performers. Out of so many performers, we are saying that they are rewarding the best of the performers. So here the best performer, they have a scheme of rewarding is mentioned, rewarding. So here option A is wrong. A best performer is wrong. The best among the performer is also wrong. A best among performer, here among, a best among performer, this is not correct. The best of the performer, here along with the noun, S should be there. This option also is wrong. So already in the sentence, S is added. Performers, you say, the best of the performers. So there is no need of any correction in this sentence. This sentence itself is the correct one. To confuse you, they have given you options, multiple options, but none of the option is correct. There is no need of any correction required here. Let us look at another example. Making friends is more rewarding than to make enemies. Making friends is more rewarding than, now you have to stress on the highlighted words, to make enemies. There is a mistake here. Now, what are the options? To be unsociable, to be sociable, being unsociable, making enemies, no correction required. Making friends is more rewarding than to make enemies. There is a mistake here. So, no correction required option is wrong. Eliminate this. Here word enemies is used. It is ending with enemies. And here sociable, unsociable words are given. So, all these options are wrong. Eliminate this. Now, we are left with only one option. Here there is a mistake in the usage of verb. To make is used instead of making. So, the correct option is making enemies. Making friends is more rewarding than making enemies. If you read the sentence with the other options, making friends is more rewarding than to be unsociable, making friends is more rewarding than to be sociable, all these options are wrong. So, eliminate all these things, you are left with option D, which is the correct option. Now, let us look at the next example. The board of directors requires that these reports should be submitted before the end of the current quarter. Now, there is a mistake in that these reports should be submitted. That these reports should be submitted before the end of the quarter. Now, what are the options given? That these reports should be submitted. That these reports should be submitted. B. That these reports be submitted. For these reports to be submitted. Option D, these reports submission. Option E, these reports should be submitted. Now, if you look here at the subjunctive construction, wishes and demands. Now, here the board of directors are demanding something. They are demanding to submit the report. It's a command, it's a demand. So, when we use this demands or commands, we will not use should. Should is used for may or maybe. You should do this. So, you may follow or you may not follow. You use must for commands and demands. So, here should in first one option A, and in option E should is used. Option A and option E should is there. So, should cannot be used for wishes and demands. So, option A and option E is eliminated. Coming to C and D. Option C and D are left. Let us look at option C and D. For these reports to be submitted, these reports to be submitted, these are awkward. These are not correct. Now, we are left with only one option, that is that these reports be submitted. So, option B is the correct one. Each of the songs were great and the choice for the best one among all the three was very difficult indeed. Each of the songs were great and the choices for the best one among all three was very difficult indeed. Now, if you look at the options, there is some mistake in the whole sentence. They have not highlighted the sentence. Now, what is the mistake here? Were great and choosing the best one among the three was very difficult. The mistake starts from were great. If you see, the sentences options are starting with verbs: were, was, and was. So, the mistake is here from this part of the sentence till indeed. Now, how to choose the best option? Each of the songs. Remember the rule when I have explained each. Whenever each is there, the verb should be singular. Singular subject, singular verb. So, we have plural verbs here, 1, 2. In 2 options, plural verbs are given. So, these 2 options you can eliminate. Now, we are left with 3 options. Was is there. Out of this 3, you have to select which one is the correct one. How will you do it? Now, if you look at option A, C and E, they are using the verbs. Was, singular verb. Each is there, so verbs also should be singular. Now, if you look at sentence choice or options D, it differs from B in that D uses between and answer. If you see here in D and B, here among is used and in option D between is used. Here also between is used. So, whenever between is there, between is the word used to select when two persons are there, we use between. Now between is wrong here, because each of the songs were great and the choice for the best one among all three was very difficult. We are talking about three. Between is used when we talk about two things. Here we are mentioning about three songs. So option D is wrong, option E is wrong. Now we are left with option B. So option B is the correct one. Among is used for many. When we have choice of many things, we use among. So there is a mistake of verb. Were great is wrong here. It should be was great, and choosing, and the choice also is wrong here. It is choosing the best one among all the three was very difficult indeed. B is the correct option. Let us look at one more example. Let us look at one more example. Can you tell me why did you not speak the truth? In this, the highlighted part, there is a mistake in this highlighted part. Why did you not speak? Options are given. Can you tell me why did you not speak the truth? Now options are why did not you speak? Option B, that why did you not speak? Option C, why you did not speak? Option D, why did you not spoke? Option E, no correction required. Now if you see, there is a mistake in the arrangement of order of words. Along with WH word why did you not speak the truth, can you tell me why did you not? It's wrong. You should always, after the WH word, what should be there? There should be a subject, then helping verbs. First subject should come, then helping verb should come. So if you see the first option, option A, why did is it starting with. So this option is wrong. Because there is a mistake, option E is wrong. Again here, why did you is given in option D. This is wrong. Can you tell me that why did you not speak the truth? That is also wrong. You are asking a question. So it should be why. You are left with option C. Can you tell me why you did not speak the truth? Only the arrangement of words, word order is wrong here. You should come before and did should come after WH word. Why after why did should come, you should come after why, and did should come after you. This is the mistake here. So option C is the correct. Why did you not speak the truth? I have got some tea, but I do not have a sugar. In the previous episode, we have discussed about countable and uncountable nouns. So if you look at the sentence, the highlighted word is used before sugar. I have explained you, we have discussed that sugar cannot be counted, it can be measured. It talks about quantity, it can be measured, it cannot be counted, it is uncountable. So before uncountable nouns, we use any. We don't use I have got some tea, but I do not have some sugar is wrong, got sugar is wrong, more sugar is wrong, no correction required also is wrong, because there is a mistake. A sugar, you cannot say a sugar is wrong. So what is left with? We are left with any sugar. The appropriate answer is any. We are I do not have any sugar. I have got some tea, but I do not have any sugar to prepare tea. The man to whom I sold my house was a cheat. If you look at the next example, the man to whom I sold my house was a cheat. Now the highlighted words, who I sold, there is a mistake here. Let us look at the options. What options are given? A, to whom I sell, to who I sell, who was sold to whom I sold, no correction required. Now if you read the sentence, somewhere in the mind it is saying that there is a mistake. The sentence is not grammatically correct. So if you look at option E is eliminated, there is a mistake, so no correction required, cannot happen. Now if you see, the man, subject is the man. Whenever we talk about persons, we refer the word relative pronoun as whom. The man to whom we should say, to who we cannot say. We can say the man who is standing there is my brother or father, the man who is, but here to is there. Along with to, you should use whom. The man to whom I dash my house, whether it should be sell or sold. Now who is wrong? We have just now come to a conclusion who is wrong. Here in option B who is used, who is eliminated. Again in option C who is there, this also is eliminated. Now we are left with to. You are talking about something you did in the past. You sold the house. To whom I sell, you cannot say about present tense, you cannot talk about present tense. So here the verb sell is there, which is in present tense. Again this option is wrong. Now what is left with you? Option D, the man to whom I sold my house was a cheat. The correct sentence is to whom. So here the mistake is in the usage of this word. Who is wrong, it should be whom. Relative pronoun whom should be used. Thank you very much.